Time to wake up America. Last night we had a special 11 p.m. live show, the Fox News Specialist After Dark, so to speak. Anyway, during some very heated debate regarding Donald Trump Jr.'s meeting with Russian lawyer Natalia Veselnitskaya, I said collusion in and of itself is not illegal. Well, the liberal media went apoplectic, but guess what? Collusion isn't illegal at all, and chatting about an adoption policy certainly is not criminal. Politico magazine published a very nicely researched paper today highlighting several constitutional scholars and prosecutors who overwhelmingly agree with that thesis. So, what's all this hysteria about? I think I figured it out last night as well. This is a liberal media witch hunt. A witch hunt not seen since Salem circa 1692. Since the election, the liberal media has been accusing Trump of colluding with the Russians. They are totally invested in that narrative, completely invested in it. The problem is their investment is going belly up. For 6 months, the liberal media has delivered what they call bombshell after bombshell. Well, guess what? Bombshell after bombshell has fizzled out like a wet bottle rocket. But the liberal media keeps on hunting for those witches. They've become pathetic as a middle school boy who has a crush on the cheerleader, hoping just once she agrees to date him. Psst, liberal media, she ain't that into you. So instead of beating that Russian dead horse, move on to something worth reporting. The economy is off the charts on fire. The borders are tightening. Illegal immigration is way down, and ISIS is shaking in their sandals, waiting for another mother of all bombs to be dropped on their you-know-whats. Wake up, liberal media. Trump is winning, and I, for one, am totally not sick of winning yet. Kat, you sick of winning yet?
I don't know how... Wow. Okay, Eric. It's not over. The investigation is still going on. There are things that we haven't talked about.
This one or the other?
There's things. This is the same investigation, Eric.
Right. Okay.
There's things we haven't even talked about on this program. For example, like the fact that Jared Kushner's digital operation is under investigation. People in the Pentagon who worked in issues surrounding Russia have noticed connections between people in the U.S. who knew where to disseminate voter information and people in Russia who were doing the propaganda. I don't know if that's Trump's people. I don't claim to know. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. And they're still investigating, Eric. And they're still investigating, Eric. And you're also really minimizing it by saying it's just some lawyer and they're talking about adoption. This is a person who has Kremlin connections.
Okay. Here, I'll give it to you.
Just because it's not criminal doesn't mean that it's not.
And I will show
just because it's not criminal doesn't mean that it's not wrong.
There are constitutional scholars and prosecutors who say
I don't think that I've said that there was a crime. I think that what I've said is it's way too early to be shouting victory when an investigation is still going on.
I didn't shout victory. I simply said
you said we are winning and we're going to keep winning.
No, I was talking about the economy. I was talking about the borders. I was talking about ISIS being on the verge of defeat. Those are real wins that we don't hear from the mainstream
media. So I think I have something that maybe will satisfy what both of you are saying. What if we did more than one thing at one time? How amazing would that be? What if we let Robert Mueller and the DOJ do their job and finish completing the investigation you're talking about, Kat? And at the same time, talked about the domestic and international things that are going well or maybe not so well in the case of health care or whatever, but talk about actual American policy concerns as they relate to the American people.
I completely agree. I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. I want to start talking about health care. I'm just saying nobody on either side should be saying it's over when it's not.
Well, when is it ever going to be over, though?
I mean, you're going to be
over, or are they just going to continue to beat this
The
horse?
Democrats' heads started exploding on January 20th.
But it's not just the Democrats,
they started chanting impeachment from day one. You had a member of Congress today file impeachment charges over what his son had this 20-minute meeting. Come on. I mean, the loss of grip on reality that the Democrats are going through is absolutely stunning.
Congressman, let me ask you this, though. If it were just the Democrats and they were all by their lonesome, because I think the articles of impeachment and all the filings, it's ridiculous, right? The treason, Tim Kaine, it's stupid, it's ridiculous. But it's not just the Democrats. We know this, right? We know that there is a segment, and Eric points them out on a regular basis, of the GOP that at every opportunity will jump on board and be a part of that chorus as well. And it's that combination of voices, Congressman, that is bringing a lot of fuel to that fire.
No, and we had a word behind the scenes in Congress. We called them bedwetters, okay? They could not handle taking tough votes. They can't handle the idea that maybe they're going to get in front of, supporting something. And it's just, it is very frustrating. Focus on the issue.
I think in terms of the media, it's not going to go away for a simple reason. This has never been about Trump. It's always been about the media. I've been a journalist for 25 years. We love talking about ourselves more than anything else. We find ourselves fascinating, and we hate being wrong. We hate missing the big story. I disagree with the congressman. This did not start on January 20th. It started on election night.
Yeah.
The minute that Donald Trump was
election
elected,
night. How about June 16th of 2015?
It was election night
down
because
the escalator and Trump declared
no,
his
not then,
candidacy.
because back then they liked him, supported him. He was a fellow New Yorker, and they never gave him a chance to win. But when he won, it showed us that we missed the big story, and we're never going to get over that.
Okay, so stay on that for 1 second. So why in the world, we've heard Comey's memos were the bombshell. We've heard, I mean, it was on and on. We've heard 10 different bombshells that ended up fizzling out.
Right.
When is the media
They always overplay their hand.
grip of themselves and start reporting the real news instead of continuing to look for this witch that doesn't show up?
You got it right, Eric. Both the media and Trump are made for each other. They both live in each other's head rent-free. He pays too much attention to what they say about him. He should focus on work, and they pay way too much attention to what he says about them.
And I would love to talk about health care. I think that that's a disaster. I would love to talk about the real issues. I'm certainly not saying that this is the smoking gun, and I've never said that. I've never said I know that this happened, Eric. All I'm saying is I don't know that it didn't. The investigation is still going on, so I'm not going to shout victory for anybody.
Against this meeting quite a bit, and one of the, a couple of the constitutional scholars in here say on the
Did I ever say it was illegal?
Alone of the free speech argument, Trump Jr. had a right to speak to the Russian lawyer.
I completely agree that looking at information as a commodity would create free speech concerns, and I said that a few days ago.
So why are we hyping this? Why are we saying we really need to sit down and
I think it's because his story changed so much.
The story changed.
The denial. The denial. That's the why.
The half-truths, the untruths.
I deny that we can continue this conversation.